Hi, my jazzy friends. I hope you're having a great day. Today, we're going to continue our discussion on intuitive eating, really trying to free ourselves from the diet rules that have micromanaged us into thinking that we can't trust our bodies anymore. So getting back into trusting our bodies and listening to what our body's telling us. And these were the first two principles of intuitive eating, rejecting the diet mentality and any kind of diet rules or maybe some diet tools that you've used over the years, trying to let go of them one at a time. Again, gradually taking the time and patience and practice doing this. And the second principle was honoring your hunger, knowing what hunger feels like to you and what a comfortable hunger feeling feels like to you also. One of the things I didn't talk about yesterday was the meal planning aspect of that. When you're really trying to honor your hunger and eat between a 3 and a 7, it may take a little bit of effort on your part to do a little bit of meal prep or meal planning. One of my favorite apps is called Big Oven. It's an app that has recipes in all different kinds of categories, but it also allows you to put it into a planner, and all the ingredients can be put into a grocery list, and it syncs to your phone. So I really love it. Check it out, Big Oven. And it's on, you can go bigoven.com too on the internet and download the app from the App Store too. So it's really good. And I think that's a really good, useful tool to help you with the meal planning part of that too. So the other thing I didn't talk about yesterday is really reinforcing that adequate self-care, really being in tune to what your body is and de-stressing your life as much as possible. And we know we're not going to be devoid of stress, but really having adequate self-care is really crucial for you to be able to hear and understand what your body is saying to you, and then to be able to respond to that. So those were the first two principles. Our third principle is going to be really challenging. It's make peace with food. In this principle, we're challenging you to give yourself unconditional permission to eat what you want. So let's take a step and look at what unconditional means. So it doesn't mean if you eat a bag of jelly beans that you have to go jazzercise for 5 hours afterwards. So it's not looking for a punishment after eating certain food. It's being able to eat a food that you want when you want it in the amounts that feel comfortable and not being managed by some kind of rule, I can never eat that. So we're really looking at when somebody follows diets for long periods of time, or maybe they are on and off diets, that deprivation from the diet really leads to cravings and possibly binges as a result of that too. So we're really trying to get away from that. I know I always tell the story about this neighbor of mine down the street when I was growing up, had the most perfect manicured grass. It looked like golf course grass, and he would never let anybody touch his grass. Well, one day my sister was riding her bike and actually fell off onto his grass, and out he came yelling and screaming. So then it became a challenge for all of us kids to run through his grass without getting caught. So just because we weren't allowed to, it's kind of like what we're facing right now. We're really not supposed to be out socializing with friends, but we still have people tempting in that. And it's the deprivation that leads us to want it more. So these cravings and binges that result from the diet, these are what's triggered from depriving yourself of some of your favorite foods. So again, so this principle, we're really looking at freeing yourself from that and allowing yourself, making foods emotionally equivalent. I know that's going to be a stretch for some, because nutrition-wise, we know a green jelly bean is not the same nutrition-wise as green broccoli. But if we can make them emotionally equivalent, it's just food, right? So then we'll be less tempted to binge on these foods rather than giving them power over us. And some people have told me they don't trust themselves. They don't buy certain foods because they don't trust themselves. And again, that's a strategy, and I get that too. But this principle is going to challenge you to take it a little step further, and we'll get to that too. So making foods emotionally equivalent, making it just food. And I always go back to the saying, are we living to eat, or are we eating to live? So are we constantly thinking about when's my next meal? And sometimes diet and meal planning, strict meal planning, makes us do that too, instead of having that flexibility too. So I really want you to be able to experience the taste of food and how that feels in your body. When you eat something, start asking these questions. What does the food taste like? So often we eat foods, we don't even know what it tastes like. And I know if I'm doing something else, if I'm distracted while I'm eating, like working or at least watching TV, pretty soon I've eaten the food and I didn't even know where it's going and I'm looking for more. So I don't even have a sense of what that felt like or what it tastes like. So ask yourself, what's it taste like? How does it feel? And then did I enjoy this food? And how does it feel in my body? Did it make me feel good? And then I would ask the question, would I choose to have this food again? So this is what making peace with food really means. There's an effect called the habituation effect. The habituation effect says that over time, the novelty of something wears off. So think of the new car. When you buy a new car, it smells so great. After a couple of months, that new car smell kind of wears off. And it made me not as exciting to drive in the car as it was once and when you first got it. Or when you're first dating somebody, or if you have a significant other or whatever, and the first time they said, I loved you, and you got those little butterflies and it felt so exciting. And then when you're married, almost 28 years, like for me, yeah, I love you too. Yeah, it's something that we kind of just take for granted. So that the habituation effect says as time rolls on, the novelty of something wears off a little bit. And we can do this with food too. If you're constantly telling yourself you can't have your favorite foods, whether it be an Oreo or chips or cheese curls or whatever that is, then that's going to just make that all that more enticing for you. It's going, that deprivation is going to lead to cravings. I really want that. Or even binges too. So making peace with food really helps you to challenge yourself with that. So I have a little activity for you. Make a list of all the foods that you have forbidden yourself to have. And just this once, I want you to pick one food that you want to give yourself. You want to feed it to yourself. You're going to allow yourself to have it. So write the list first, pick which food you want to. And you want to do this in an environment that's not very stressful. You want to plan a certain time of day where you're not too hungry and not too stressed out, and where you're going to do this. And you're going to buy the food, purchase if it's not already in your house, and allow yourself to have as much as you want. I know this sounds scary to you, but tomorrow I'm going to go over some kind of concerns that I've heard in the past about making peace with food and how you can get past these fears. But for now, for today, the taste challenge is, or maybe tomorrow if you can't get to the store right today, or if the food's not in your house. So just allow yourself to have it. And when you're eating the food, pay attention to what it tastes like, and then how it feels in your body. And then would you choose to have the food again? All right, that's all we have today. That's making peace with food. And tomorrow we will move on to principle number 4, the satisfaction of food. Actually, I think I'm lying. The next principle will be the fullness factor, and then satisfaction. All right, great. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.